Good morning. We are live. Welcome to Hack Check Studios. RT Bear here. Hope everyone is having a good morning. Yes, last day of the week, Friday. So, yeah, I just thought, hey, you know what? There's a lot I have to do today. Let's live stream. Let's set something up, make it harder for the day. Take some more time away from all the things I have to do today. But I couldn't resist. I had to hang out with you guys. I'm trying to do more live streams. One, I really enjoy it, and two, it's important. It's important, man. You got to get out there. You got to be social. This is the only way I am social these days. Although, having said that, we are having people over tonight. That's probably part of the procrastination. Because I need to start cleaning my studio. I need. It looks okay. It's squared away well, except for where I really work. There's stuff everywhere, but it's pretty dusty. Yeah, hope everyone's doing good. We got Praetor 7. Good morning. We got Brent Mackey. Hey Art, how are you? I'm doing good. Hope you're doing good as well. We got Squibs. How y'all? Howdy. Hey, what is it? It's tomorrow. Tomorrow's free comic book day. Yeah, I don't do that stuff anymore. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. When I do free comic book day, I usually draw to entertain, and I don't know. I'm kind of getting out of drawing in front of crowds these days. I should get back into it. I should do some live streams where I draw. I was thinking about, I got a piece in front of me here about putting this thing together on a live stream, but maybe I'll show it off. I don't know. I'm doing something with Ethan Van Sciver, that dude. So he sucked me into his madness, and or with his madness, and yeah, it's not a lot of work. Just one piece. Jasper Plan 9. Hey chat, what's up, John Porton? Really enjoyed Black and White Volume 1 so far. Art started Volume 2 today. Great story so far. Yeah, cool. I'm glad. I am so glad. The Warlock. Good morning. Hey Art. Hey, what's up? Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. Also, I got this. I should have wait. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now. Cross out these addresses so I don't dox anybody. I don't really mind doxing myself. What are you guys gonna do? I have weapons. I'll shoot anybody. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna shoot no one. But I got this package from Mike Barron. So you can't see the addresses. So this is from Mike Barron, and I'm not really sure what it is. So I'm gonna open that. I'm gonna open that for you guys. I'll show off this this piece of artwork right here that I'm working on with Ethan Van Sciver. Let's see. What is this? Flatty 1 afternoon all. Warlock says, yeah, you guys also keep in mind this is interactive. So these morning Hullaballoo shows, it's just you and I. It's just hanging out with everybody in the chat. So feel free to interact. Otherwise, we don't really have much of a show. That would be sad. Wait a minute. I got a pop up here. I don't want this. It's for my printer. No. Okay, I'm back. Warlock says, yesterday was my wife's birthday. Can you wish Jennifer a happy birthday? Thanks. Hey, Jennifer, happy joy birthday to you. I used to remember when answering machines were a thing, and you were always trying to be like so witty with your answer machines, and then you would leave messages with your friends, but they couldn't just be normal messages. They had to be cool messages. I used to play the Beatles birthday song to my friends when it was their birthday. They say it's your birthday. Let's see. John says, are you doing a short story for EVS's book? Cool story, bro. No, I'm not doing anything that involved. I really don't have the time to take on much outside work. I think I'm going to open my commissions list very soon. So if you guys are interested in a commission, once I open that, go sign up to my website, Art by T-Bear. It's in the description, and I have most of the stuff there. Although the commission prices they're all higher than the ones in there. I haven't updated that site in a while, but it'll give you an idea of what they look like and how much they are. But like I said, they're quite a bit more than that. That's maybe 5-6 years ago pricing. So and when I open it, I'm not going to do much. I'm not going to do many. Just there's been a lot of people for the last couple of years that have asked me, and I offered some commissions on my my Indiegogo, and those things sold out really, really fast. And I still have one to do. I'm all caught up. I just have one to do, and I'm thinking, is it Jon Snow? Is he the guy from Game of Thrones? Is that the guy, the good-looking guy with the long hair? And so he gave me a choice. The guy that wants me to draw Captain Kirk, or I believe it's Jon Snow. So you guys decide for me. I'm kind of leaning more towards Captain Kirk, because all that Jon Snow, I think he's got long hair. That's a lot of work. Much thanks. No problem, man. No sound. What? You can't hear me? You guys can hear me. Is it me or no sound? I think people are reacting. They're reacting to me speaking. So I think it's just you, Kevin. I got sound. Yeah, because you guys are reacting to things I'm saying. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Like and share, please do so. Captain Kirk, we got a Captain Kirk already. I'm going to write these down so I can keep track of them. So I think it's Jon Snow, Captain Kirk. We got the Captain. We got Uno. And then I'm going to write Snow down. So you guys got to help me. Do Kirk as Jon Snow. So give Kirk long hair. Give him some long hair and some animal skins to wear. That doesn't count. That's like that's a wash right there. Kit Harington. Who's Kit Harington? I don't know who that is. You are fine. Thank you. We can hear you. Okay. Well, we gotta figure out Captain Kirk or Jon Snow. Come on. Like science fiction or science fantasy. That's not science fantasy. Sword and sorcery. Is that sword and sorcery? I guess so. Yeah. I don't know. How would you classify Game of Thrones? I think I've only seen a couple episodes of Game of Thrones. So anyway, that's what I'll be doing. So we got one Captain Kirk. So it looks like it's Captain Kirk. I voted for Captain Kirk. So that's two Captain Kirks. So that's it. Doing a Captain Kirk. Let's see. Joseph says, Artie, Black and White 1 and 2 were awesome. When is the next coming? I am glad you asked, because I got a bunch of stuff in front of me. Like just drafts upon drafts upon drafts. I always date them. You can see like this version. Kind of washed out, but Yeah, Black and White Volume 3 is coming along. The story is, well, actually 3 and 4, the story is blocked out. And so Aaron Sparrow is working with me on the writing. And so right now we pretty much got the first issue all blocked out, like the details, like every scene, like sorry, volume 4 is still a little unstructured, but 3 is completely structured up. And so Aaron is putting it together right now uh, in the form of a plot breakdown. So we'll have a script and plot breakdown, and I think it will have some basic uh, dialogue on it. Oh wait, Kirk is more iconic. Kurt Heck. Oh, all right, man. So we got the Kirk's coming in last minute. Do 94-year-old Shatner squeezing into his old uniform from the 60s. It's not going to be that elaborate. It's not going to be that elaborate. Marcus Killigrew, what's up? Yeah, so the story is, it's awesome. It is really, really good. So the way I looked at, like, volume 1 and 2 are, it's like Whitney's backstory, Whitney Sung's origin story, if you will. But it also is the black and white origin. So that's what those two were. So I'm looking at 3 and 4 as Reed Blackett's origin, Black. And so I kind of touched some of the basic stuff about Reed's past, about how and why he's at this moment, this place in time in 1 and 2. But I don't really get any deeper into things. So we're going to get into more of like the spy background, his father, a lot more espionage, a lot more kind of spy detailed stuff. Not overly so, but enough, and what motivates him, and just all that good stuff. So we're also going to delve into more like the supernatural aspects, like the black and white universe has it encompasses everything, like super science, so we got robots, we got technology, and then also there's like the supernatural aspect. Without giving too much away, there is a supernatural part of black and white volume 1 and 2. It's very low key, and but it does exist. So the reason I want to do that is because I like science and supernatural. I kind of like the way those things work together, and so I don't know, like magic and robots, like just all kinds of like tech and miracles, just like all kinds of just cool grab bag of stuff. Joseph says Game of Thrones was effing boring. I watched one and they poured like hot lead or gold on some kid's head or somebody's head, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" I think he was like, "You want your crown or whatever? Here you go." And they poured molten hot metal on that dude's head. Hail all, what's up? Marcus Kilgrew, everybody loves him. Jolly Green, hail guys, or hi guys. Uh, Driving back to Charlotte from Champaign, Illinois. Ooh. Well, be safe. Yeah, there's a lot of crazies out there. Let's see. John says, as long as the evil Dungeoneers lose in the end. Yeah. Black and white and the grays. Yes, 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 yes. But the story is coming along. It's really shaping up. I'm real happy with it. Starting, I got a lot of concept uh, designs and things like that. Maybe I could show some of those things. Let me see. I'll try to find them. Hopefully my computer won't crash. We've had some bad weather the last couple days. Just a lot of rain. Lightning and thunder. Okay, let's open this bad boy. See what we got. I got so many files now. It's getting tough. So it should be under. That's not it. That's not it. Boop, 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 boop. So we got the big bad. I got those sketches. I got all the underlings. I got those drawings out. Where are you? Where are you? Logos. It should be under reference. Black and white logos, black and white banner, black and white pencils, inks, covers, trading cards, dump file. That's not letters, head sketch, card contest winners, animated 16-page ash can. Ooh, Green Hornet cover. It just says black and white t-shirt designs. Oh my gosh, where are you? This is really, really weird. Don't tell me I didn't save them. T-shirt designs. Oh, there it is. It's like the second one down. No, 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 no. This is not them. You know what? I don't think I saved them. I have them drawn out, but I didn't save them. So I apologize, you guys. That is so weird. I know I scanned them in at some point. But yeah, they're pretty cool. So they're going to have new suits. Black and white are going to have new power suits, new and improved power suits, I should say. And so there's going to be a new bullet vehicle, because it got well, I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil anything for the volume 1, volume 2. But yeah, it's going to be all new designs, and we're going to have a new cast of characters. This one's going to take place in England. So the first story arc was in China, in New China, and so this is going to be England. And so if you guys don't know, Reed Blackett he's kind of like a James Bond type character. So working for not MI6, we have like this made up faction or group, and they're called MI10. And so MI10 is like a anti-robotics division of MI6. So MI10 existed in, I think, the Second World War, and it was a like technology division of MI6. And so this is kind of a continuation of that idea. So it's very technology based, and that's where Brooks Gray worked as a technician and a robot specialist. So let's see, we're still on this. You should do a poll in the chat for Kirk or Snow. I thought I already did. I don't know how to put those polls together, but it looks like Kirk's already well in the lead. I don't think Jon Snow got a single voice. Jolly Green, Art, can you talk more about working with Aaron to work out a story? Yeah, what I did with Aaron Sparrow is I had the idea. I have more than a beginning, middle, and end. I pretty much had all the scenes for volume 3. So all the key stuff, all the key beats for the story I had, and I brought to Aaron. But there's a lot of connecting tissue. There's a lot of things and backstory of characters and things that just weren't quite connecting. So one of the things, there's two things I like about writing with somebody. Is one, I have a real hard time crafting stuff because like there's this dyslexia thing. I can do it, but it takes me forever. And sometimes it just doesn't happen, depending on the severity of my dyslexia on that particular day. Sometimes it's like just gibberish. I can't even decipher it. It's really strange the way it works. So he does that, and the other is just you have it in your head, and it's like a sounding board. So if you're working with a good talent, then you can say something, and then you start riffing off the idea. So riffing is a musical like jazz term. So you just start playing with ideas. So I say something, then then Aaron will say something back, and then we'll kind of go like ping pong back and forth, and then we'll kind of figure out how it works, why it works, all the W's, the where, how, what's it? Is it where, why, and how? That's not a W though. Uh, but the who, what, where, and why. That's it. The who, what, where, and whys. And so you work those things out, and then you agree at that. And it's always like, that's what I always stress when I'm working with somebody. It's like you agree at that moment on it, because sometimes when you craft it, it doesn't quite work, or when you put it together, you realize that it gives it birth to a new idea. And so it's always good to stay very, very open when you're writing, and not too territorial, because things do change, especially at this stage of the game. But having said that, volume 3 is pretty much, it's done. Like, we're just kind of putting it together, like crafting it as far as like a script, and that's a lot of that's Aaron. And then when Aaron hits a roadblock, then he'll throw it back at me, and then we'll work things out. So right now we're working on a lot of the backstory, like Reed's backstory. There was some vague ideas in '94 that Pamela and I came up with, and those are still going to be incorporated, but it's just way more fleshed out, way more fleshed out. And Aaron's one of those guys. He's pretty easy to work with, because you can say something and he's right there with you. Like, you don't have to explain that your ideas in detail. He kind of understands the shorthand, which is great, because if you have to sit and explain everything in too much detail, at least for me, it slows the process down, and it makes it hard for me to move forward, because I'm a very stream of conscious kind of guy, and I just kind of go with things, and it works out best that way. So I've learned over the years just to kind of trust that. Don't become too analytical at first. Just kind of riff, just kind of move, and then get it down, get some kind of structure down, and then you can get into more of the details. And he gets it, man. Let me see. John says, do you think Black and White would work well as a tabletop game, sort of like Andy's doing with Core Draft? Yeah, actually, I had a guy that worked at Hack Shack Studios some years ago, and he's doing video games and stuff now. And you're just working in the studio, so you're just talking like we're doing right now. And he came up with some ideas for Black and White as a video game, not as a role-playing game, but as a video game, and as Chrono Mechanics as a video game as well. And I think it could work. I think Chrono Mechanics would be an easier role-playing game, because it is more of like adventures, like they go on adventures as repair jobs. So it's like the Black and White stuff, there's more character stuff that comes with it. There is character stuff in Chrono, and if you don't know Chrono, they're time repairmen. Type it in, I think some of the stuff will show up. And it's a fun action adventure sci-fi story. And so I think, because the Chrono stuff lends itself more to one and done story adventures. The Black and White stuff, there's a lot more emotional baggage, I guess. And I don't know, I've played some of the like the desktop stuff a long time ago. When I was a kid, I had a friend that was into D&D, and to be honest, I couldn't really get into it. It seemed like a lot of work for me, and I didn't really care for it. So I think a lot of people like it because you can be creative. You create your character. You have a dungeon master that creates the world or the adventure you're going to go on, and there's a lot of creative aspects to it. So I like the idea of the game and stuff. It seemed like something I would really be into, but I couldn't really do it. And also maybe it's just the time. Because it takes a lot of time to play those things. I never felt like I had that kind of like amount of time to spend. I'm not a real downtime guy. I'm a doer, so I usually every minute of the day I'm doing something. Sleeping psychopath. He reminds me a lot of Alex Rider. Is that Jon Snow? Alex Rider. I don't know who Alex Rider is. Uh, Le likes when his tissues connect. Yeah, sometimes when you're blowing your nose, you're using multiple Kleenex, and then you kind of separate them, and you're like, did that come out of me? Are we ever going to get black and white? The flamethrower. Ooh, we should put a flamethrower on the end of the bullet, the car. Sup, young man? Hey, Comic Book Bob, what's happening, man? So, Comic Book Bob and I, we got he came up with an idea for pontificators, and we did it. Usually, okay, we'll do the show, and then we just like hanging out. So we'll spend maybe an hour after pontificators on Wednesday, and we'll just talk and hang out. And Bob was talking. He found like my first CG like live stream on Ethan's channel, Ethan Van Sciver's channel, and it was hilarious. I was just like, just a newbie. What do they call them, potatoes or whatever? And yeah, I looked so stupid. And so we were listening to that, and there was like a Mitch Bratweiser and just a lot of the early like comic skaters in there. There was Doug TenNapel, Mike Miller, stuff like that. So we were thinking maybe do like I don't know, like it would be too about me if it was like roast art, but maybe roast CG, so we can just Bob's good at getting those clips and stuff, so he might be putting clips together, early CG stuff, and then we'll just kind of play them and just kind of go down memory lane and talk about this stuff. It could be fun. I thought that clip that he found was pretty embarrassing and pretty hilarious. So yeah, and Bob's got a YouTube channel, so go check that out as well. Marvel has a tabletop game you might want to check out. Yeah, there's some cool stuff. I saw something like at these comic book shops here, they have like it's a big table, and it's got like little sides like walls, and you sit around, and I guess it's like a board game. So you can move your characters. I don't really know how it's done, but you can move your characters through these environments, and it's all like model making. Like they have like landscapes and trees and buildings and whatever. I guess whatever you need to go on the adventure with. And I guess in the day they were like little lead figures, and you'd paint them up. So I don't know what they do now. I'm sure that things are a lot more detailed, but there's that. And then I saw just before the show, it was just a normal table, right? But it has like panels. And so if you lift the panels, it's like a dining room table. You lift the panels, there's like your D&D landscape in the table. And so then you sit around the table like you would, just a normal dining room table, and you play your game. And then there's like these clip-on like boards. So each person's seating area has this board. It's about, I don't know, about this big. It has a drink holder, and it has a place for your cards. I guess you use cards, so you can set your cards up, and then I guess you can take notes or whatever. So you have your notepad and whatever you need. It's like a little desk that you have. So when you play the game, I guess you can put all your stuff on, and then you can see the board and where everybody's at. So it looked really legit. Like it was high-end stuff. It was all like custom crafted, and like it was all wood, and stained and lacquered and all that other stuff. So it actually looked pretty cool if you were into that stuff, and if you wanted your home not to be taken over by the D&D stuff, because I guess those boards can be pretty big, because this thing was the size of I don't know, maybe 6 to 4, yeah, 6 seats, like dining room table. So I thought that was pretty cool, so especially if you're living with a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, you don't want it to take over your house. You can do that. And I imagine like you could just set everything when you're not playing. I think it had like little panels that you can slide the boards into and everything. So it's kind of like storage and like a board that you can play on. It looks really cool because when I was a young kid, I liked models and like model train sets and stuff. I could never really afford that stuff because it was expensive, the model trains. But I had a friend that he had all that stuff, and he'd build, like barns and whatever the train needed. He'd build landscapes and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I think that's what these boards are. It's just it's kind of like model building or whatever. Let's see, like a tabletop game for CG. I I don't. Can you do so? I guess you can. Like if Marvel can do it, we could do it, right? With all the different like types of characters and backstory and stuff like that. I don't know who you'd get to write that though. That would be pretty in depth. The Nordic Nerd. Hey Art, was his favorite. Hi Art, was his favorite and least favorite thing to draw. Hmm. I know I have a least favorite. Uh, what is my least? I think my least favorite is repetitive stuff. So like if it's a building and you have to draw like 20 windows, you know, and maybe it's like a mid shot, so there is some detail to it. I don't like that. That's a lot of work. Um, so I think just kind of anything that has repetitive designs to it, repetitive as far as like multiples that are exactly the same, like windows that are exactly designed the same, because you're drawing the same thing over and over and over again. I don't like that. And my favorite thing is I like organic stuff, trees, rocks, anything that's organic, ground, stuff like that. I do like. I am getting more into tech, and I found that I'm kind of good at it. It's like organics are fun because they're no, it's the opposite of like drawing a bunch of windows, right? There, if it's off or if it's weird or if it's not drawn 100% correct, it looks fine because it's organic. But if you do that like on a window or like a side of a building, it all has to line up. It all has to be perfect. So I think just things that aren't. I don't know. It's weird. I never really thought about it. I think what you're asking is like cars or buildings or stuff like that. But it really depends on what it is. Like cars, if I have reference, I'll never draw a car out of my head because they just look stupid. So cars, I always use reference. Um, yeah, I think just organics and repetitive. So I like organics, and repetitive stuff I don't like. So it's a good question. I wish I had a better answer. Let's see. Let's find out who Alex Rider is. Was a British teen spy series by Anthony Horowitz that I read as a kid. It's probably just surface level, but Reed Blackett reminds me of a grown-up version of that character. I'm writing this down. I am going to look into this. Alex Rider. So it sounds like there's a series of books. So is it kind of like a British like Hardy Boys or something, like where there's a series, teen spy series? Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I'll look into that. Henry Thurn, good morning. Yes, yes, yes. I know. I'm trying to keep up, but I don't know what the yes, yes, yes is. Uh, all right. I'm caught up. Now what? Now what do I do? But yeah, I think tabletop is cool. It's still popular. So I do remember like comic books early on, like comic book shops started carrying is it TSR like books, and I always kind of wanted to buy them and crack them open just because the cover artwork was always really cool. And then uh, I remember a friend of mine had, I guess they have books on different things too, like robots and monsters and like dragons and stuff like that. So they're like pen and ink drawings of stuff. Sometimes they're good. Sometimes this is old stuff, but a lot of times it'd be pretty bad artwork. But the covers were always like really nicely painted. So I liked that. I miss old comic book shops. They had a little bit of everything. Graham drew for TSR. Yeah, I remember. I think early on when I started, I just wanted to kind of do like sword and sorcery, kind of fantasy illustration, like I don't know, Frank Frazetta or Boris Vallejo or Hildebrandt or one of these guys. And I think I pursued it at one point, but it never happened. But I wanted to do like the high end illustration stuff. Um, Henry says, I always thought TSR books looked cool too, but never got any. Yeah, the cover was always really cool. And I remember like friends had them and they would open them up and it was just I think it just reminded me too much of like school. Like you had to learn. You had to it was cracking open a book and learning stuff. And it just seemed like a lot of work to me. A Flatty one says TSR and a Palladium advertised heavy comic books back in the day. Yeah, the 80s and early 90s. I think it just kind of works. Like there's a lot of crossover. Like comic books gets into like sword and sorcery, fantasy, superheroes, spy, just everything. War comics, romance. It just you could cover everything in comic books. So I think all those things also like cartoons and they kind of all are related in a way. Marcus Killigrew, I drew two stories for an indigenous gaming company. What is that? Indigenous? I don't know. Gaming company? I don't know what. Mythic America. Oh, I see. Last year. Mythic Americans. You guys got to check that out, man. Check out some Marcus artwork. Gen X Catholic. That ad with the chick dying and the wizard uses a scroll spell to teleport them into the castle. So cool. uh, is that Sacred Geek? I always scarred geek. TM, always trademark, you guys. Always trademark. Is that ever considered doing any kind of tutorials while working? Hate to lose the art of inking. Something is just missing from the homogenized digital coloring. Um, I have some videos that you could check out where I ink. I don't really ink the way I used to. So I mostly use like pins, uh, markers, things like that. I hurt my hands, so it's hard for me to kind of hold a 102 like a dip pin. And let me see if I can find one so you guys know what I'm talking about. Here's one. So These are, so you really kind of gotta like crunch your hand together, and over hours it really starts hurting. So like markers, and it's more of a drawing tool, so you kind of hold it differently. You don't really crunch down on it the way you do a hunt or a dip pin. So it's a little, the dynamic is different. And I kind of did want, for this piece that I'm working on with for Ethan, I kind of wanted to get into that again, but I couldn't do it. It just hurt too much. Boo. Yeah, I think diversification is good. Jeff Potts, we need more comics that aren't superhero focused. I'd love to see some sort of sword and fantasy, sorcery content from indie creators. Well, Andy Smith has got one going, Core Draft, and that thing looks really cool. So you should go check that out. And like Black and White, there are superhero aspects to it because they got the super suits on, right? So they can do superheroic stuff. So I got a combination of just about everything I like. And so then there's like the James Bond spy thriller stuff, and then there's like future tense stories, like sci-fi elements, robots, high tech. You know, I like made up worlds. I don't. I mean, reality's cool, but I like more made up stuff. Like I liked Tim Burton's Gotham. So I thought like that first Batman, Tim Burton movie with Michael Keaton, I thought I would like to see them try to do that again with Batman, because Gotham was a character in that story. And so what I liked about it is that it wasn't our world. It was a made up world. Like that world didn't exist in our world. It was completely unique. And so I thought the genius of that movie, that first Batman, was like, you put a guy in a suit and then you put him in the real world, it looks weird, right? Because we're not used to seeing people like that. But if you up and you heighten the world to where that character fits into that world, like a comic book, then all of a sudden it sells it better. It sells the idea better. It looks less strange. So I always thought that the Tim Burton Batman with Michael Keaton was one of my favorites, just because that's not our world. You know, it is Gotham City, and Gotham City doesn't exist. But I think if they were going to have Batman go to Metropolis or any place else within that universe, it wouldn't have looked like New York City or wherever. It would have looked unique and different. And I would like for these filmmakers to start doing stuff like that. Really use your imagination and create not just like these characters that exist in our world, create the world they live in. Because I think then you have spectacle. You have like imagery that you don't see all the time. So when I did Black and White, I didn't want to put them in the real world. So China is new China. It's not the China that we know. So these places are going to have, like within the Black and White universe, are going to be unique. So they will be real places like Great Britain, whatever, but it's going to have a spin. So also the way I look at it is it's not contemporary to our time either. It's like future tense, but I'm not identifying it. So I don't want to go, well, this is 2050 or this is whatever, because I don't want to get into like science fact. I don't want to scrutinize the world that much. I just want it to be fun, you know? So like whatever's cool and fun is what's going to be there. And as long as those rules work within the universe itself, it'll be fine. You know, just don't scrutinize it and compare it to the real world, because then it's not going to work. So like Star Wars, the first Star Wars, you know, in a galaxy far, far away, like it doesn't say, he doesn't say Earth, he doesn't say the, like Pluto, the sun, the moon, Jupiter, Saturn. He doesn't mention, he doesn't reference any of those things. Like, this is a completely made up universe. And these characters that we're following just happen to look like humans, but they never even call them humans. They don't do that. One of the problems I have with the new Star Wars is they use terminology too. They use like money or payment, stuff like that. I thought, like, don't use contemporary terms, don't use like slang terms like that we use. They wouldn't talk like that. They don't exist in our world. Like, if they're talking about money or payment, like, use credits or something like that, something that sounds unearthly or earthly. That's the stuff I like. That's the stuff I think is fun. And for some reason, like the Marvel Universe, I think it's probably budgetary. And also, the Marvel Universe is in New York City, the comic books. So I guess it did work logically, because unlike the DC things, like Metropolis isn't a real place. Gotham City isn't a real place. So I think DC moving forward cinematically should create their own places. I mean, you could go and shoot in areas, but augment things digitally or whatever, and do a whole like world, build a unique world. I don't know how Marvel pulled it off with the cinematic universe, where they really did just film in actual locations, cities and stuff like that. But somehow they made those characters work within that, which is to their credit. But I like a little bit more art direction with my movies. Oh, here's another kind of like sword and sorcery adventure. Yeah, the Barton brothers, definitely. Art, will you use Fund My Comic on your next book? I'm going to do an ash can. There's 8 pages of black and white story that I did in '94, and I did a limited print run for that ash can in volume 1. So I'm thinking that I'll bring that ash can to Fund My Comic, and we'll do it there. And if it does well, then that will be it. But if it doesn't do well, to justify a print run, I might have to then bring that ash can into other campaigns, or do like an Indiegogo campaign for that ash can, just so I could justify a print run. But it's all kind of up in the air right now. So what I'm thinking moving forward is this book right here. This is the next book. So this is my art book, Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too. It's it's a beautiful looking book, square bound, hardback, coffee table, just high end book. Pages are beautiful. So the good thing about this book is it's done. The files, I have the files, everything's done. But what I would like to do with Comicsgate and crowdfunding going forward is I want to add 8 new pages and do a Comicsgate section, CG characters, and then possibly do a new cover for the book. So it'll be a unique version of Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too. So I want to do that, and then somewhere do that ash can, and then I want to bring back, do a second chance campaign for Retrofit, the Chrono Mechanics book. I'm so proud of that book. It came out amazing, but it was also a very small print run. So not a lot of you guys got that. And there's a lot of new people coming into Comicsgate. So I want to reissue that, and then possibly do a second chance black and white just before I launch volume 3. So reissue or do a campaign for like a second chance for volume 1, volume 2 of Black and White, and possibly do a new version of the book. So Black and White in Black and White. So these are the ideas that Pamela and I are talking about now for this next year. So we're already like 4 months into this year. So I got to get a move on. And then so at the end of the year, I'll have been working on Black and White Volume 3, which I am doing right now. So all my spare time I'm putting into that, character designs, writing the stuff with Aaron Sparrow, all that stuff. And then we'll launch Volume 3 as a Indiegogo campaign. And the hopes are that there's going to be a lot of stuff done by then. So when I launch it, hopefully half the book's done already. And so then there'll be less waiting time, because I do feel real bad. Like Volume 2, there was a little bit of waiting time. So I want to try to avoid that, try to get the book done faster. And also just because there's a lot of other things I want to do. So I do appreciate you guys giving me the time to draw Volume 2 and spend that much time on it and make it the best I could possibly make it. But having said that, I think I've worked out a lot of these things, how to move faster, and hopefully Volume 3 works, a lot faster. We'll get it done quicker and get it in your hands faster. Yeah, Anton first designed Gotham for Burton. Yeah, it was brilliant. And what was kind of cool is the movie influenced the comics. So Gotham City in the comic book started being drawn more like fantasy stuff, like the Anton first stuff. And I thought that was cool. And also they brought in more of like, I think that's when instead of the blue, it was black and gray. So they kind of gave a little bit more of a more sophisticated color palette, or lack of color, to Batman. Yeah, he made the comic book live action. Jeff Potts says, cool and fun is good. Cool and fun is what Marvel and DC had and lost. That's all I want. That's all I want, you guys. I don't know how to do anything else. I mean, I could write an angsty kind of serious drama story, but it's just not really in me to do. I don't really like that as entertainment personally. Like I don't avoid it, but my favorite stuff is just good, clean, fun action adventure stuff, Artsy Bear, good day, sir. Hey, Chris Maycock, what's up? Let's see what Henry has to say. I work for an aerospace defense company, and I'd like to use my experience here and create a semi-realistic background for my comic book based on my experiences. Yeah, I think if you can do that, you'll add a level of authenticity to it. Authenticity doesn't always have to be realism. It just means that it's something that you bring to it that people can connect to. And I think those universal things are good. Universal situations, universal characters, universal surroundings is all good. Let's see what Praetor 7 says. Oh, what did Batman and Robin and Forever do wrong? It was good, clean fun. I'll have to say I enjoyed it for what it was. And just the same, like the Green Hornet, it was horrible. It wasn't done well, and it wasn't fun campy. It was kind of sarcastic campy, or sarcastic humor. Didn't care for it 100%, but just like Batman and Robin, and forever. For 2 hours, it was entertaining. You know, did I want more out of it? For sure, I did. But you know, it is what it is. We got Gray Wolf, hungry like the wolf. Bad nips. Directed by a gay man. What do you expect? I was going to go deeper into that, but I decided not to. They were trying to bring a comic on screen, so they figured that meant they had to do goofy instead of dark. Yeah, I mean, comics can be incredibly sophisticated. It's just a medium. You can tell any kind of story within it, you know. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to make it more kid-like, because I mean, quite frankly, superhero comics are meant for young kids to read. Let's see. I had an idea to do Superman type series, but the alien would be a normal human landing on a planet where the people can't see, or something like that. Oh man, Henry's given his plot, his breakdown. Wise Guys Entertainment. Oh, you should trademark, man. Wise Guys Entertainment TM. Hello, 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 all. What's up? Jasper. Yeah, you know, the animated series did a great job of incorporating all that stuff, actually. Into the setting, it might not exist, no iPhones or identifiable computer technology. Timeless. Exactly. Yes, timeless is the word. If you do that stuff, then you can make it somewhat timeless. So I'm going to have like cordless communications, stuff like that, in black and white. And there's computers and all that kind of stuff, but it's not going to be like the stuff we have now, you know. Ooh, we got some Ashcans fans. You know what? If you guys hold on, I have a copy. I'll leave this up. I'll come right back. I gotta find it. It was in the T-Bear vault. It was vaulted. So this is the Ashcan, you guys. So this is let me take this down. This is the cover to issue 1. So we called it the bonus story. So I digitally remastered the cover, got it recolored, and it came out really cool. So this is the 94 cover, the original cover. So the back has the tagline and everything. And so it's really pretty nice. So it's 8 pages. I don't want to show you too much spoiler. So I'm thinking of doing a Fund My Comic that way. Laddie says the Ashcan teaser for Vigilante's Creed was great. So we're on to the art book. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Oh, right back at you, Henry. Yeah, I'm gonna be wrapping this up soon too. I just really needed to hang out. Torchbearer Studios. I got it, and it's great. I thought Chrono Mechanics was fun. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I like those characters. I like telling those stories. A friend of mine read, or when I was creating it, he told me, he said, you know, all 4 of those guys are you. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, you know, because there's the caveman character, and he's a businessman. You run Hack Shack Studios. You're a businessman. And I go, okay. And then he said, there's the artist, Caravaggio. You're an artist. And I was like, oh shit, okay. And then he goes, and then there's a rock guy from the 70s. You're a rock guy from the 70s. And I was like, and that's Doug. And I was like, oh, okay. And then there's the Zen character, who's a child deity, philosopher, like child philosopher. And then he goes, you're kind of like that. You like philosophy and you talk, all the time about that stuff. And he said, but mostly, you're just full of shit. And so I never really put that together before, that those four characters are basically aspects of my personality, or of me. Unlike, it starts getting into territory where they, like modern comics, they write the character as themselves, stuff like that. But that's like using Peter Parker, a character that already has definable traits, and then pushing your traits onto that character. I mean, you always need to write what you know or create what you know. But like the Chrono characters are, I don't know, they don't really act like me. They're not like stand-ins for me. It was just kind of like things that I was into personality-wise, things that interest me, and those things work their way into the characters, but not like the stuff that they're doing in comics now. Shadowhawk Talk says, and the Inko t-shirt is my favorite CG t-shirt right now. That's awesome, man. I made a couple extras, so I wear them as well. Torchbearer Studios says, speaking of adding a bit of color to Batman, what do you think of Winston Duke's campaign to play the Caped Crusader in the film? I don't know who Winston Duke is. Have they mentioned a Batman yet? Because I think they've announced the Superman cast, right? The James Gunn Superman cast. Let me see who this Winston is. Winston Duke. Okay. Images of Winston Duke. Oh, he's that dude from Black Panther, right? He was pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's one of those weird things, like when there's a lot of light coming through the window now. The sun's coming out. It's like race swapping and all that. Let me turn this one. This is weird. Race swapping. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I think if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, I'm not like set completely against it, right? Like, oh, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. This is so fundamentally different than the character. If the actor can transcend it and make it work, and the story and all that stuff, that's fine. If you're doing it as virtue signaling, or you're doing it to try to score some kind of ESG score, or any kind of idea that doesn't really have any real substance or merit, then I'm not behind it, because it's never going to really work anyway, because you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. So if you have an actor that guy is that character that you're writing in your script, then if whatever they look like, cast them, make it work. Like Michael Keaton was way outside the box when they cast Michael Keaton. Everybody hated it when they announced Michael Keaton for Batman. Speaking of Michael Keaton, there it is. There's the Batman Returns cowl. So, like if it works, it works. But most of the time, all the modern day stuff, it's just changing to change. It doesn't really have a reason to be, and if anything, it just kind of is off-putting and strange. So, like I said, it's probably like a case by case basis. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But I'm not instantly set against it. That Winston Duke, he's a really good actor. I don't know if I mean, he played that part in Black Panther. I thought he was probably the best part in Black Panther 2. Like, I would rather watch that guy for 2 hours than that. I don't know the actress's name. I didn't really care for her. I, I never believed that she was the Black Panther. She was a great character as that character. Oh, speaking of black or blue, any chance Art has an insider definitive answer on whether those original X-Men uniforms are black with blue highlights? Wow, I never thought about that. I always thought they were blue though. I thought they were blue and yellow. If that's what you're talking about, the original like comic book X-Men uniforms. I didn't think they were black. So yeah, I thought they were blue and yellow. Pedro's late, always late. Pedro, hey, what happened to you on Pontificators, man? I'm late. Good morning, sir. Kevin Smith, Tone, sir. I'm not mad. That story cracks me up. I'm glad I could entertain you. Praetor hates camp. It has its place. I think as an adult, it's harder. Like my thing is, as long as it's good and entertaining, and so I take everything case by case. So there are things I like better than others, but if something's done really good or it resonates with me, connects with me, then that's all I care about. But obviously, I have things I like more than others. Like I'm not really a country western guy, but I've heard some country western songs that I really like. So there. So there. The one-eyed king. The one-eyed man is king in a world of the blind. What the hell movie was that from? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. McDonald's freaked out over Batman. Oh, the nipples and all that stuff. Yeah. Torchbearer Studios. I had an ash can, but it looks different. Yeah, there was ash can from the time we did. Uh, I think I did with um, Dynamite or Dynamic Forces and the New York Comic Con. I think they paid for the printing, and we put out a bunch of ash cans. And then I did the New York Comic Con, and I'm not sure if they gave them away or if they sold them. Well, thanks, man. John says Ashcan ad on the art book. I don't know, like the art book, I kind of I want the campaign just to be about art. So we'll do high-end prints, we'll do maybe some trading cards, maybe, uh, but it's going to mostly be about the book. We're going to do commissions. We're going to do art commissions, drawings in the book, remarks, things like that. Also, the book's going to be signed and numbered. So whatever the print run's going to be, um, it's going to be limited. So once that print run is out, it's out. So kind of like what we did with this volume. We completely sold out of it. I think I got maybe 2 or 3 books for myself. Yeah, I figured that out. Yeah, I mean, it really depends. I never really thought about Batman as any other kind of just who he is. Like Bruce Wayne is this rich white guy, you know. Um, it's definitely going to get like some cheap headlines. You know, Batman is now, you know, black. You know, but other than that, I think if the actor can pull it off, that's fine. Because what even in the Michael Keaton Batman, was it Harvey Dent, Billy D. Williams? So I didn't have a problem with that. Uh, Jimmy the Lumberjack says, "Not me. He was great in Mr. Mom. Knew he could get nuts. You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." He's a good actor. Most of those comedic actors are good dramatic actors as well. Let's see. Dark Shadows, Logan says, or Dark Shadow, Logan. Bruce Wayne is a white man and always will be. His origins come from the late 1930s onward. It is now part of canon or part of those times in culture. Yeah, like I said, I still feel the same way. I would rather it be more true to the comic books, but if there's an actor that can transcend that, fine. If it's done for all the right reasons, which I don't know what those reasons would be. You know, like I said, the only thing I could think of is like the creative people that are behind making the movie only saw this one guy, right? And so they wrote it to that guy's voice, to that guy's acting abilities and all that stuff. Then maybe, but there's so much good talent out there. I don't know why you just go, oh, we need this one guy who doesn't really fit the physical description of the character. And also, if you're doing it for all the right reasons, which I don't know what those right reasons would be. Like I said, other than it was the right actor for the character. But Batman isn't black. I mean, it's as weird as like saying, okay, we're going to do the Black Panther, but we're going to get a white actor to play that. That seems very off-putting and weird, right? Then why wouldn't it be off-putting and weird if you did it to Bruce Wayne? The opposite. Good Joe. Hell Chat finally caught the stream. Sweet. We got to get you on the show. We got to get you in here sometime. At some point. Yeah, I thought that would have been cool. Oh, that actor that plays the Reacher? Yeah. Michael Keaton was also great in Gung Ho. Oh my gosh. You guys remember Night Shift? Feed the mayonnaise to the tunas. I'm an idea man, Chuck. I don't know, man. Billy D. Williams is like he's always kind of a low key cool dude, and like it would be interesting to see like him kind of up his game a little bit, become larger than life to play Two-Face. It would have been interesting. Oh, welcome, my friend. The whole Trinity run, man, that was quite an ordeal. Oh, well, now we're talking. Milton Berle as T'Challa. That could be cool. Sacred Geek. any Chrono books left. Was too broke, but thought the concept sounded great. I don't have many left. I mean, the old campaigns when Pamela and I would run them, they were very bare bones because we didn't have a lot of money. So we would do overruns, but not very many. And so one of the things that would happen is they would end up selling out because we didn't know that they would, you guys would really embrace them. So the Chrono print run there wasn't that many printed. So I have a handful of the original books, but not many, not enough to run a campaign. So we would go back to print, probably do a new cover. So then we could probably offer the original print run at a premium, and then have the new books as well. And then once those original books sell out, they're gone. They're completely gone. So that's most likely what we'll do with the Chrono books. And then the one thing I wanted, with the Chrono campaign, we did patches. The Chrono patches look so cool. And then we did trading cards. We did a trading card for every cast member in the story. So there was like 8 or 10 trading cards in the campaign. So it was awesome. So I would like to do, I'm not sure how many of those trading cards we have, but we might have more trading cards than we have books. So I would like to reissue the trading cards, but as a tier. Like we would sell the trading cards. We gave them away as stretch goals with the original campaign, but like package them as a set and make those a tier. I think that would be really cool. And then the patches and stuff like that as well. And then of course there would be new stretch goals that you would get, but you could actually purchase the original stretch goals. They're just too cool. I want you guys to have them. I don't know. I don't know if there was. Michael Keaton convinced me on playing Batman when he did the movie. The Dream Team earlier that year, where he played a crazy character in that. I think that's also what they used to sell him in the Batman movie, because it was a great dramatic part, and he showed that he could play a dramatic role. Yeah. I think what they did there were a lot of great ideas in that first Tim Burton movie. I'd like to see them get back to some of those ideas in a contemporary way. Like I said, the art direction. Make Gotham City look unique. Like there's no city that exists that looks like this, except the film version, right? And the other thing they did with Batman is they gave him an alter ego. Like Bruce Wayne and Batman were completely different characters. The way Keaton acted them out, they were different. It was kind of like Chris Reeves in Superman. Like Clark Kent was different than Superman. So I like that alter ego thing. And so you got the idea that Batman was probably more how he really is, and that Bruce Wayne was the facade, was the act, was the thing he was hiding behind. And so, where he was kind of like absent-minded. He kind of played things like he was elusive. He was kind of out there. He was a space cadet, he was a little bit of a weirdo. And so I thought that was an interesting way to go, because then you have this ultra functional Batman that can take care of anything. And then you have this rich, kind of spoiled kid that can't find his, what with both hands. And I thought that was a real interesting way to play it. So if you met Bruce Wayne, you would never even think it was Clark Kent. And Clark Kent, I mean, if you met Bruce Wayne, you would never think he was Batman. Sorry about that. I'm vegging. So yeah, I thought that was a great way to play it. Have the two characters different, But like that new one with that guy from, I don't know, Twilight or whatever, it seemed like it was the same guy, right? It was like Bruce Wayne was the same guy as Batman. So yeah, I kind of like the alter ego stuff. Oh, cool, for the art book, yeah. Love the cards from Chrono, and the patch was awesome. Warlock says, was there a big difference between your Indiegogo Chrono Mechanics campaign and the Kickstarter one? Yeah, I mean the Indiegogo one did better, but than the Kickstarter one, and the Kickstarter one that's the only edition that book will never go back to print. Um, so if you got it, then that's great. If not, I don't think I'm ever going to bring that back. I don't know what this is. Von Klaus on part 3 already. Um, Von Klaus, I may have talked about working with him on volume 3 and 4, but he was so busy trying to get some like work from him and stuff was really hard. Like he's got so much cool stuff going, and he's a busy guy. So I would love if I could give him more time to write like another high octane adventure and get Pedro Eng and Von Klaus together again to do an animated adventure. Pamela says that that's her favorite black and white. Like she likes it more than volume 1 and 2. Yeah, maybe, but I mean, if the actor's really good, then that's fine. The only thing about, and this, I swear, this is not racially motivated. It's gonna probably sound weird, but like the cowl is dark, and if you have the dark lower part, I don't know what that's gonna look like. At that point, you may as well just give him like a Black Panther kind of full face. I always thought Batman should have looked more like the Black Panther anyway. I always thought the Black Panther mask was kind of the Batman cowl done better in a way, because it hides his full face. So that's that. But if you're going to go with the traditional Batman, I think the contrasting tones, the black and the white, is probably better. Are you ready for the auction? Yeah, and I think this piece that I'm going to show you, I'm going to put up for auction. And I got a surprise too. Christian Bale, Bruce Wayne was an a-hole. Yeah, I didn't find him that interesting. I thought when he was younger, when they did like the first, what was the first Batman, whatever it was, um, I thought it was okay. When he was going to go kill uh, Falcone or whatever in the courtroom. I thought that stuff was pretty cool, like when he was younger. But when they did the older, like Batman or whatever, or Bruce Wayne, I didn't care for it. Like when he's like out like with those chicks in that fountain and stuff like that. It just didn't seem to fit. Like if you had an actor that could play more quirky, like Michael Keaton, I think you could believe that part. Like if you're trying to play up that type of like idea, I think Christian Bale just he couldn't really do it. Like, ooh, I'm just kind of crazy. I just do things spontaneously. Yeah, on Ethan's channel. I'm gonna be there Saturday. Yeah, because she likes your book. She likes your book, that's for sure. Yeah, like Batman Beyond, exactly. Yeah, you guys give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Without further ado, I'm going to show this off, and I hope Ethan's okay with it. So my camera always sucks anyway. So this is the character Lynx. So I asked Ethan if I could auction it off. He hasn't answered, so I'm going forward with it regardless. So there it is. And I got a special surprise. Should I tell you the special surprise, what I'm going to do? Maybe I should, just so you guys I could prep you. I'm going to do commissions. So I'm going to auction a commission. So I got a little bit of time. I just dropped my knife. I dropped it on my foot, but it wasn't open. And so I'm gonna offer a headshot commission. So those are going to be my auction stuff. So, and this right here, like I said, this is from Mike Barron. So let me see what this is. So, all right. Ooh, The Architect. This is Mike Barron, Andy Tong. Let's see what this is all about. I got some reading to do. Thank you very much, Mike Barron. That was very thoughtful. He just he goes, "What's your address?" And then he sent this out to me. So that's very cool. Cover looks fantastic. Wow. Not messing around. The Big Head Press. Oh man, he signed it. To Art. All the best. You can't really see it. Well, thank you, Mike. You are awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. Man, it's a thick ass book. That's cool. Dreamhouse Turns to Nightmare. Let's see. So I don't know who Big Head Press is. So this looks like it was adapted from something. I don't know what this is. I'll have to read it to figure it out. Yeah, but it looks great. It looks fantastic. So I wish I knew more about it, if it was a Kickstarter or what. But if you guys come across The Architect by Mike Barron, pick it up. It looks fantastic. God, this is like 100 pages. It's a thick book. Well, thank you, Mike Barron. That was awesome. So as promised, you guys, I showed off the links, the Minxie links, and I'll scan it in and stuff. I'll show it off better on the auction, and then get your finances in order. Hire me to draw for you. I'll do a commission. I was thinking of doing the commission just for CG characters. Real quick, while I got you in here, let's do a survey. Should I just do CG characters, or should I do just any character you guys want? So, Baron with the goodies, yeah, for sure. What finances? Yeah, in the Biden verse, in the Biden world. Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm trying too, so I understand funds are tight, but this is how I make a living. So I sell books and artwork. Thank you, Past Master Dan. Speaking of original artwork, the link is in the description, or you could click right here and go over and pick yourself up some original artwork. Don't limit yourself. So open the commissions to any character. The extended Biden universe. Let's hope it's not extended for another 4 years. I don't know if America can handle another 4 years. What about OCs? I don't know what OCs are. Old comics? I don't know. All right, you guys. Well, my next venture into the YouTube verse will be Saturday on the auction, on Ethan's CG auction. And like I said, I'm gonna do the links. I'm gonna try to do something different. I usually do similar stuff, so I'm gonna do the links cover once again if Ethan, is cool with that. I mean, I own the artwork, so he should be, and then a commission. I'll do a commission, and I want to see I want to see what a commission in a bidding, hopefully a bidding war will do. I'm gonna turn this back on. I'm losing my light. Okay, so just do original characters. Oh, original characters. I got it. Yeah. So we have two, one of each. So we need a deciding vote. Either I do any character or just create your own characters. Oh, Kevin, what's up? Eth will probably cheat so he gets your commission. Oh, that's right. When he sees artwork that is one of his characters, right? He gets into the bidding. Well, I guess it is what it is. The thing is, I'm not going to charge him for the artwork. So if he wants to pay me for the original, I mean, I should say pay me to do the artwork, to ink it. I'm not going to take anything from him. He'll probably offer and stuff, but I'm not going to do it. But if I could sell the original on his channel, even to him, then so be it. I can't control everything, although I try. Nah, I don't. Let's see. I don't think Biden will survive another 4 years of Biden. I don't think he's surviving right now. I think he's. They're just propping him up. Or you offer two auctions, one for any character, one for for just like CG characters or whatever. I could. I just don't know how much I want to draw, and I guess it depends on how much that auction piece brings. Because if it does really well, then it would obviously be worth my while to offer another one. So maybe I could take your advice there. So if the first auction goes well, then offer a second one for any character or whatever. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good advice there. Keep it loose. Have options. Cassie says, well, I published a book recently and would like him drawn in American comic style. Currently has anime looking. Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with anime. That does really well too, especially in the current market. Draw the fearsome character. That character, when he's all like in that fearsome, look, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool looking. I would love to do that. Or Kit Carter. Yeah, get out the old circle template. Do the old fishbowl dome around her head. Yeah, he is like Mr. Magoo on meth. Yeah, they must give him some kind of whiff of cocaine or something before he goes up on stage. I spent all my money on Black and White 2, won't partake in the auction. I'm sorry to hear that. Things are tight, but you know what? It is what it is. So, back what you like, support what you like. You don't have to support everything. So I do appreciate that, though. And I hope you enjoy Black and White 2. Fearsome Bullet, EVS wants artists to draw their own characters, but the audience says different. I'm good with all of it. Like I don't I don't really draw a distinction between things. So obviously, like my art book's going to have a lot of Marvel DC characters in it. So there's a lot of creator-owned characters as well. Cassie, yes, sir. It's a sci-fi book with lab-grown vampires and werewolves. Project, I don't know. Is that 5? I don't know Roman numerals. What is that? Lodine 94. Yeah, be flexible and think maybe more of a premium price for not your character and CG. I might put a minimum bid for the commission, because it is going to take extra time. Like if it's a piece that's already done and it goes a little low, that's fine. I expect that. But like if I'm going to draw something from scratch, that's time. So time is money to me. So I might put a minimum bid on it and see where it goes. Ooh, thunder and lightning, man. The sun's out now, which is good, but last 2 nights, holy crap, man. I've never seen so much rain. I think they said last night, not last night, the night before, was 18 inches or 16 inches, something like that. That's a lot. It's a lot of rain. Oh, Andy Smith is out till next week. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. We need the rain here. I don't know where here is, but you know what? Even where I'm at, it rains all the time. There's like, I don't know, 70-foot trees in the area, stuff like that. And they still bitch about water. Like, be conservative with your water use. It's like, when I lived in California, I understood that, right? It's a desert. We're like basically bringing water in from other states. But here, man, it rains all the time. I mean, it rains so much, everything's green here. You know, that's not like a desert. That's not drought, whatever. Oh, it's 7, Project 7. Thank you for the clarification. Roman numerals are tricky. I just don't have any. If I don't have any interest in something, I don't learn it. Listen, a guy in his room. It's 7, Art. You're illiterate. You illiterate. I don't really care, because I'm a talented mofo and I know how to draw and write comic books. So that's all I care about. Andy Smith, his daughter has a thing going on. Oh, okay. Do you know when the auction time is? I don't. Usually those things go around, they could start at 6, go to midnight. So I would say 6 Eastern Standard Time is probably the earliest. And the latest it'll probably start is 8, I would imagine. But I'm thinking it'll probably start 6 or 7. And that's Eastern Standard Time. So guy in his room, I know that. I know what I need to know. Who uses Roman numerals anyway, except for Cassie with her cool project? Here in Wales, all it does is rain. We're lucky to get 2 weeks of sun. Yeah, I don't know if I could deal with that either. Green in Texas, yeah, that's what I thought at first. But from California, I started, like years ago, I started doing a lot of conventions, right? And so I was doing a lot of Texas shows. So the first kind of half from California over is kind of the Wild West, right? It's like what you think of Texas. Like, you know, it's a dusty terrain. It's kind of deserty. But then about the midway to the southern side, southern east side, it starts getting green. And it is really green here. Yeah, it's not quite like the South, like Georgia or Florida or whatever, where it's like humid and it's really, really lush greenery. It's not like that. It's kind of a hybrid between kind of like a California terrain and a Floridian terrain. It's like if you mix those two, and it's about a 50-50. So there is humidity, but it's not that bad. But it is really, really green, and it does rain quite a bit. You know what? Everybody's like a lot of mosquitoes, but I think the area actually sprays for mosquitoes. So they're not too bad. They like my wife. They don't like me. For some reason, we do get a lot of flies. So there's a lot of flies, but we also have a lot of snakes, and I think snakes eat flies, and frogs, like the smaller snakes, maybe. I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Yeah, San Antonio is more like on the California side. Yeah, I didn't want that California terrain because even Austin reminded me a little bit of California. It's greener, but they have some water issues there. Fearsome says, "Are you in on Tucci's She toy? I think it looks fantastic. Graham had his plushie. Where's the Chrono Mechanics Legos are? Oh my gosh, that'd be cool. Yeah, be a a repairman, chrono repairman, and fix things, fix broken Legos. Oh, thank you, Jazz. I appreciate it. Greetings from rainy Buckinghamshire, UK. Art, you are the man. Boom. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Oh shit, I've been bit or stung or whatever by those bastards. The fire ants were the worst part of living in Texas, and the cockroaches were huge. Cockroaches are, I mean, we have exterminators and stuff, so it's not a big issue, but they are quite big. But those fire ants, I I think I've been bit twice. If it's the same thing that you're talking about, and it's like an electric charge. Like if you've ever been shocked by a light socket or something, where it just kind of goes up your arm and just like, you just you make that sound. It's like that. It's not just like a little regional thing. It's like a shock, and it'll jolt you, and also it hurts. It hurts, and it doesn't go away quickly. I mean, it really does hurt. I don't know if there's a venom in it or if it just kind of damages your nervous system, so it takes a little bit of time for it to recover. But man, those fire ants, they hurt. I got some fire ant bait, I guess, and there's certain areas in the backyard where they kind of stay, and so I'm gonna try to eradicate those bastards, or at least keep them under control. But they kind of stay the perimeter. They stay the perimeter of the property. They don't really get close to food or any place that we sit or around the pool. Yeah, that's what I hear, but not that's not the reason we didn't move there. I just there were some beautiful homes, beautiful homes. A little more expensive. I guess Austin is more people want to live there than where I'm at now. But and it's not that I couldn't have afforded it, but what we wanted to do is to sell the California house, which was pretty much paid off, and then come to Texas and spend a little less, and then be able to, basically invest or hold on to that extra money. And so Austin, we wouldn't have had as much of a nest egg as far as the money, and I just it seems too dry to me. It's too California. So I didn't like it, but it wasn't the people, because I've done shows at Austin, and I think it's an interesting little town. I like it. The people were cool. They really support like the locals, so they had like they would sell like a local musician's CDs in the airport or at like hotels and stuff like that. I mean, they really supported people. They had like a really quirky, what was it? Keep Austin Weird. So there was kind of this weird, like old school, like almost Wild West look right next to like high tech Hilton. Like there'd be a barn that was uh, like a, what do you call that? Like steakhouse or something, barbecue, and right next to like an ultra modern like Hilton or something. So it is a quirky town. I thought it was nice, but but a little expensive, more than we wanted to spend, and I just didn't like the terrain. Like here, it's amazing. I mean, I have so much land. It's crazy, especially coming from California, and it's beautiful here. I mean, the Woodlands, Texas is gorgeous. I think the nicest place in California is like Beverly Hills or like Irvine and stuff like that. I'll tell you, where I live right now is nicer than those areas, and it's not as expensive. So nobody listen to what I'm saying and move out here. Nah, more the merrier. They can be, yeah, yeah. And am I hallucinating, or do some of them fly? Like they're flying cockroaches, I think here. None your business. Fire ants are bad but controllable. Yeah, I bought some. It's just like a powder, and it's strictly to kill fire ants because I don't ever want to be stung by those things. Freaking hurt. And because sometimes like I like to um, do yard stuff and plant and things like that. And so sometimes you're not really paying attention and you like grab a rock or something and there's like ants underneath it. And man, those fire ants, they'll bite you instantly or sting you or whatever the hell they do. Um, yeah, there's no warning. So I don't like those things. Oh, okay. So it is the fire ants. Yeah, those fire ants were everywhere and they shock and burned. Yeah. Pedro says, hope you never get stung by a bullet ant. That's a wingless wasp designed by Satan. Sounds horrible. I think you live in a place where there's probably all kinds of more crazy shit than here. Like we have cottonmouths, we have snake wise, we have black snakes, coral snakes. What are the ones? The water moccasins are probably the worst. I haven't seen one of those. We get all kinds of like really like cool looking, like bright green snakes, bright green frogs and lizards and stuff. Like there's colors here that California things like brown and gray. Here, like there are cardinals, like bright red birds and blue jays and all kinds of stuff, man. It's awesome. Pearson Bullet says, "We'll see you." I don't know that word. Art. Ethan will probably outbid us for links. That's what I hear. A guy in his room. Then again, I think Rogan is in Austin and has a club there. Yeah, but like Rogan, he's kind of a Democrat, like a progressive, but is kind of just tired of that group, because I don't think the Democrats are what they used to be. I think they've definitely changed to some kind of weird extreme group of people. I should get out of here, man. I'm getting tired and it's lunchtime. It's 1 o'clock. Wow. Cassie knows I hate fire ants, but I've been stung by brown, recluse, that still didn't feel as bad as really. Holy shit. Yeah, I got whacked twice by those fire ants. None of your business that I left California 2 years ago to get away from the gruesome Newsom. Yeah, I will say that there were multiple reasons Pamela and I left California, and one of the main one was the politics. I'm not really a political guy, but I could see that, and I was born and raised California. I could see California just going down the tubes. And so it finally got into our area, which was a nice little area called Corona. It's right on the outskirts of Orange County, Yorba Belinda, in those hills there. Really nice, beautiful area. And it started going downhill, like homeless encampments along the railroad tracks. There was there's a golf course, Green River Golf Course, and they started setting up in there, and that kind of winds through a residential area. The train tracks are a little bit removed. There's businesses over there that they would kind of wreak havoc on, but they weren't really in the neighborhood. But then with the golf course, they were kind of coming into the neighborhood, stuff like that. And then there was talk about some of the hotels opening up for homeless people, to shelter them, just stuff like that. And then Pamela started getting harassed at the supermarket. They would do these bum runs where they would go into the supermarket. There'd be multiple of them, and they would just steal stuff, and you couldn't stop them because there were so many of them. And then they would panhandle. If they didn't get what they wanted, they would harass you. So if you didn't give them money, they would harass you, key your car, whatever. And so it just started getting crazy. And then there was the realization that the housing market was pretty strong as far as selling. It was not really a buyer's market, but it was a seller's market. And so since the house was pretty much paid down, we realized we could live pretty much anywhere for less money. And so then Pamela and I just started looking at other places. And then somebody in the chat actually brought up the Woodlands, Texas. So I don't know who you were, but thank you. I mean, this place is a gift. It is really, really nice here. If we would have moved here, oh my gosh, like 6, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, I would own the Woodlands. I worked so hard in the day, and there was a time where mainstream comics paid pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, cool. This will be the last stroke bat thing. Hey, Art, another Kiss fan here. What is your favorite pro shot Kiss show? No official release can beat the most bootlegs that they release as Kissology. Mine is Detroit 1990, 1977, San Francisco. I don't know, man. I was a big Kiss fan up to Dynasty. So when I was a kid, I kind of sporadically follow them now, but not really to that extent. So I'm not that familiar with the actual shows, but I know Detroit, big Kiss fans. So I would out of the two that you said, I would say Detroit would probably be the best. I'm going to check that out after the show. I'm going to write this down. Detroit Rock City and see. So it's Detroit from what was that? 1990. God, 1990 still to me seems like it wasn't that long ago. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Thanks for hanging. It's always a blast. You guys always make the time fly. And for that, I always appreciate it. CG is the best. You guys are the best. Thanks for all the support. And like and subscribe to my channel. I do appreciate it. And And also Friday, tomorrow night is the auction. Saturday and Sunday are the CG auction with Ethan Van Sciver on his channel. I will be there Saturday, like I said, with that links. I think it's a cover, and possibly a couple commissions that I'll auction off. So we'll see how it goes. So thanks again, you guys. Have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow night.